like that sound. Whether it's on the Chesapeake or beyond, if you plan to sail away, you're going to need to catch some good wind if you want to get anywhere, period.
It helps. That means you're going to need a sturdy set of sails, and if there was any place to search for nautical needs locally, you might want to start in, where else? Annapolis. And that is where Holly is this morning. Morning, Holly.
Good morning. I'm very excited about this. You guys know me pretty well. You know I've been doing this a long time, and it's a rarity that we find something we haven't done before. Well, this is it. We're actually seeing sails be made, and they're being made by some of the best. Scott Allan is the owner, manager, president, captain, chief bottle washer of UK-Halsey Sailmakers here in Annapolis. And David Gross is his production manager, and I guess you two are really the brains behind this whole thing.
We try hard at it.
How long have you been making sails?
Too long.
Too long.
Too long. We've been doing it about 35 years here.
And it's unique because you were telling me there's not a lot of sailmakers that do the entire process in one location anymore.
Yes, we can design, cut with our computer, and build the sails from start to finish, from a raw roll of cloth to a completed sail right here in Annapolis.
All right, well, let's kind of start because it's quite an intensive process, and I want people to see as much as we can. So obviously we're looking at the drawings here.
This is a sail plan of a boat that we built sails for, and we start by getting the dimensions of the sail in a triangle, two-dimensionally, and we take those sizes, and this is much like an architect's drawing for a home. We take those sizes and we take it to our computer for getting the aerodynamic shape. Dave will walk us through here on a couple of quick things with the size and shape of the sail. This sail's already been put in the machine and is being designed, and he can scroll through that for you.
Dave, how has computers really changed the sail-making industry?
Well, it's really made the aerodynamic shapes of the sails much more concise, much more precise. So it's not as much guesswork as it used to be.
So really I said you two were the brains behind it, but really this computer is the brains behind it.
Right.
We all have to admit that at some point. I know. It's really amazing. And so then this will really dictate the cutting and everything, right?
Yep, this goes right into the cutting portion of a sail we're going to work on here today. This shows some high-tech string layouts.
Wow.
Which support the structural portions of the sail.
All right, well, let's walk on over here so we can kind of give people a visual of bringing it from the computer to real life. And you were telling me earlier the size of this building was determined in order to fit the size of sails.
The building was built for sailmaking, and we built it especially at a certain size from a real estate standpoint, but using our computer technology, it saved about 50% of the size that we need. So if we didn't have a computer cutting facility here, we would have to have twice the floor area to cut sails.
So what are they doing right now?
On this sail here, we call taping. It's a tape drive sail, and they're laying the structural tapes. The yellow tapes are Kevlar. They follow the lines on the material that are printed on the sail by the computer and the computer cutting table.
Wow.
So they're installing the structural parts of the sail on the membrane. This is a very high-tech sail with Mylar and Spectra and Kevlar in it.
It has Mylar and Kevlar and
Spectra.
Spectra. So, I mean, it's almost bulletproof.
Almost bulletproof. Not literally, but it's the same materials that are used in bulletproof vests.
Okay, let's come on over here to the table because you've mentioned this a couple times. Our 50-foot long table, you could have a heck of a party on this table.
This could be, it's an air hockey table in reverse. It's sucking vacuum downwards and holding the cloth down with many, many holes. We can use 50 feet or we can use 10 feet. Right here is about 15 feet, and this is cutting parts for the sail that's being constructed on the floor.
And Dave, what are you doing?
I'm going to start the plotter. It's going to go through and it's going to draw and cut pieces out.
And how long does it usually take the table to like cut an exact sail?
This table itself will take about 6 minutes to cut, maybe.
Wow.
The whole sail would have taken about a half a day.
A half a day. MyFoxyC.com is our website. We have a link to UK-Halsey Sailmakers and Scott Allan Sailmakers if you want to find out more. But we're going to continue to go through the process in our next hour. Back to you guys.
All right, Holly, thank you so much.
All right, time right now. So thank you very much. We're going to follow that up with another great personality on this Wednesday morning. That would be Holly Morris setting sail today in Annapolis. Hi, Holly.
Well, thank you very much, Steve. We are setting sail, so to speak, as we are learning about the art of sail making as we are live at UK-Halsey Sailmakers in Annapolis. Have you ever seen one of those ideas where you're like, That is just brilliant. So simple, but brilliant. That's what I'm sitting in and thinking about right now. See, because instead of putting the sewing machine up on a table and having to bring the sail through it, why not just put the sewing machine on the floor and lower the chair? So simple, so brilliant, right? I guess I could say that about UK-Allan, too. He's the owner, manager, and president. I don't know if you're simple. You might be very complex, but I have a feeling you're pretty brilliant when it comes to the art of sail making. Hello up there.
Hi down there. How you doing?
Pretty well, pretty well. So you've been taking us through the process here this morning of sail making. Now, would you consider it more of a craft, a skill, or an art?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It traditionally has been an art, and it's always a skill, but the art has changed into a different technology now with our computer cutting and design. The art is still there, and from things like hand sewing sails, the stitching of sails is still the art that has been there for years and years and years.
There's only so much that you can make computer driven. So kind of tell us and walk us around the workshop here and tell us what we're looking at.
This is a spinnaker, very, very lightweight sail. Carrie is putting, we call a chevron on, a mark on the sail so it has better visibility at night. So we're inking this on. It's a high-tech sail, so we don't want to put anything heavy on it. So she's actually inking a red chevron on the sail so that the person sailing the boat can see it better when they're racing the boat at night. That's a racing sail.
Now, how many racing sails do you do versus cruising sails?
We probably do about half and half in our production, racing and cruising. Today we have both on the floor, some racing sails and some cruising sails.
And David over here, he's working on a racing sail as well.
Yes, he's putting the final identification numbers on the racing sail that each racing sail is required to have. So he's locating that, and we'll actually put the adhesive number on the sail so that it has identification when it's racing, just like a race car has a number on it.
David Gross is the production manager. And David, as you put that on there, now I'm thinking we're talking about some pretty strong adhesive here.
Yeah, it's in a couple days this will never come off.
Really?
Yeah.
So it takes a couple days to kind of gel or adhere?
Yeah, the adhesive kicks off after a little bit, but after that,
there's no getting it off.
There's no getting it off.
It's racing sail number 12 from now till whenever, or whatever the final number may be. How long does a general sail last?
A sail like this will last 2 to 4 years in a racing application. A cruising sail will last 8 to 12 years, plus or minus. Sails sometimes last less than projected life, depending on the use they have, but generally racing sails are 2 to 4 years, and cruising sails are 8 to 12.
Okay, let's show this fine lady over here using one of those amazing machines that are sitting on the floor, and she's sitting below the floor. But you said this is kind of like driving a Mack truck.
Emily's in our biggest pit with our biggest machine here, sewing on sewing on what we call UV protection onto the sail. And this is just a very large machine with a regular sewing machine head on it, able to stitch very large sails very easily and smoothly on the floor.
You said she was putting UV protection on, and you were telling me earlier that that's the #1 thing that kills a sail is the sun.
Right. This is a cruising sail, so it's going to be out in the sun a lot. And this UV protection is the sail cover when it's put away and tied up to the dock for a week.
Before we go, I know you wanted to show us this because people might not be familiar with this type of sail over here.
This sail is one of the highest tech we call a string sail technology. This is not a completed sail. It's just the skin of the sail. And this is a mylar fabric. You can actually see through it. And it has the black threads are carbon fiber,
So
and
that's
the yellow
inside of the
is
sail. I gotcha.
Kevlar. So the structure is inside the sail, and it's shiny. The reflection is the mylar on both sides. So it's much like a mylar balloon you see, but this has structure inside
Before
it.
I go, you said basically you guys are making airplane wings that are flexible. That's how you should think of a sail.
Exactly. They have a
Very
shape
cool.
in it, aerodynamic shape, which the computer helps to put in. And when they go sailing, will have the aerodynamic shape we want. We can make them flatter or fuller, larger or smaller.
Fascinating. MyFoxDC.com is our website. We have a link to the UK Halsey Sailmakers website here in Annapolis if you want to check out more. Actually, they're getting ready to head into their busiest season because people are going to bring their sails in to be repaired over the winter so they can set sail onto the Chesapeake come next spring. Back to you guys.
I'm looking forward to spring already. Holly, thank you very much. Once again, something we did not know.
Really?
Annapolis is one of the premier maritime towns in the nation.
Wonderful city there. And we sent our Holly Morris out to Maryland's capital city to learn how to make sails. She got an insider's look from UK-Allan Sailmakers.
You guys might be thinking that sailing season, as we head on into the fall and winter, might be winding down. That's true. But if you're a sail maker, you're starting to head into your busiest season. And that's why we're here at UK-Allan Sailmakers in Annapolis, hanging out with Scott Allan, who is the owner, manager, and president, and David Gross, who is the production manager. Come on over here, you two. Don't be afraid. I don't bite on Wednesdays. Just
Great,
kidding.
thank you.
But you were telling me that not only in addition to making a lot of new sails, but a lot of people get their sails repaired. So you're really going to be busy here over the next few
Right.
months.
Starting actually this week, a lot of people started to bring their sails in. They winterize their boats until springtime. They bring their sails in for servicing, just like you take your car in for servicing. So it's important to do that because the stitching in a sail comes apart, things come off the sail, and you don't want to have a sail coming apart when you go out sailing in the spring or summer next year.
I don't want to be on a friend's boat who has a bad sail.
It can be very embarrassing.
I don't have a boat. I just have to have friends who have boats. Okay, so we're going a little bit through the process here, and this is kind of actually the end process, right? We're putting the little detail
This
work.
is the last part of the process. Bill's putting a ring in here. This stainless steel ring that's got these webs that are sewn in, and then he's going to be hand stitching these webs together to give them more strength so they all pull equally on the same portions.
So we have been talking about this all morning long, and you know, from start to finish, when you have those first designs, and then you go to the cutting table and the sewing and everything, how long does it really take to make a sail?
It takes, if you had nothing but one sail to build in here, you could build the sail in a couple of days. Typically, when someone orders a sail, it's between 2 and 4 weeks by the time it goes through the backlog and all the various processes. Once the sail is cut, typically it's going through the process of production for about a week.
And one of the things that makes you all unique is that you actually do sails from start to finish. There's not a lot of places that do that anymore.
Exactly. We can do it start to finish with the computerized cutting and design through the production and the finishing with our materials in-house right here, start to finish.
And with that, we want to hoist this sail up, and we're going to kind of take a walk around. This is what you guys kind of do in the end after to look at your work.
Right here. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to step on this side, right? Gotcha, gotcha.
The sail has just been completed and is going out the door, shipped out the door today, so we're doing our final, we call walk-around inspection for quality control. Either Dave or I will inspect every sail that goes out the door as another set of eyes in checking off the sail for quality. So we'll look at the corners of the sail, make sure that the
It's beautiful.
Edges are sewn right, that the seams are sewn right, the label, basic things like the label being on the sail. We'll look at all the edges, the fittings that go on. These are done in handwork. We'll look at the order form to make sure that he got his numbers that you saw being put on earlier. Things get on. These little green things up here are called telltales, and they tell the wind flow on the sail when the customer's sailing, so we put those on. They're made of wool, and they just stick on. There's green on the right side, starboard side, and red on the port side.
I only have a few seconds left, and I want to get a couple of points in. First of all, what's the average sail cost, or what's your price range for sails?
A sail like this is about $1,500 to $1,800. A sail like that is about $6,000 or $7,000. The Kevlar Spectre sail over here.
And since you've been doing this for a long time, how much have you seen the sail-making industry change in 35 years?
It's almost a complete change, especially in materials and the design technology. These materials were not here 20 years ago.
And David, for you as a young person getting into this business, what drew you to it?
You know, I started sailing, I worked at a summer camp. I started sailing, I just wanted to get into racing, and I came down and asked for a job, and I just wanted to learn more and more and more. And
here you are.
And here I am.
And no better place to do that than Annapolis, which you said the maritime industry here is the second biggest employer to the Naval Academy.
Yes, it's actually the largest employer in the area. And there's probably 200 to 300 maritime businesses in Annapolis, so a lot of people bring their boats in for sails or engines or electronics or anything in town. So it's really an interesting phenomenon here in Annapolis.
It really is. People come from all over the world to come here to get everything done for their boat, and we're right here. It's a little gem just for us. Of course, we always do that about Annapolis. MyFoxDC.com is our website. We have a link to UK-Allan Sailmakers if you want to find out more. Back to you guys.
I love Annapolis. Thank you, Holly.
It's great.